Welcome, guys. You know me, I always think things are interesting, and this is obviously background for a conversation, not exciting video of buses cruising into the Capitol or police surrounding a building with a broken window. I got a video of that. That's going to be coming up. Or, 500 troops on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial cheering when I say America loves you. That was an awesome video. Praise God. But it's Saturday. I needed a break. I just needed to get out of DC. So I'm rolling towards, I gotta play paintball again. How do I say this? It doesn't sound inappropriate. Is it wrong to say you enjoy shooting people? It's probably wrong. But with paintball, it really is. I mean, if you're really honest with yourself with paintball, you get real pleasure out of shooting somebody, just for the record, okay? You know they're not dying. But they're feeling it. I'm going to do a little shout out for an application that all of you should have. This is kind of a public service announcement. Get Waze, W-A-Z-E. The app is really key. It's cool. It's just kind of like it's like a ride-sharing app, because if there's police or a car broken down or an object in the road, people report it, and then you confirm it as you drive past it. It asks if it's still there. So it's great for the freeway, the highway, whatever state you're in. But you've joined MustangMedic on a Saturday, and this is a road trip, and I was jamming on music, but I took it off for at least see what's going on. So, welcome. I'm in DC. I'm opening the windows, so there might be some buffering. And again, this is just for you guys to have conversation on. It's not about like content. It's more of just a forum area that you guys can talk on a Saturday if you're here. We're a small, intimate group. And no, I'm not smoking a cigar. That's a bummer. Dead deer. Dead rabbit. A lot of death on the highway. So, checking in, give me 3 thumbs up if you think this is cool, or 3 thumbs down if this is boring. So, I'm looking for my glasses. Where the heck did I put my glasses? 3 thumbs up? Okay, cool. I mean, I very rarely do I just show the freeway. Oh, nice. Very rarely do I show the freeway, but every once in a while I'm just kind of like, I don't know, this would be kind of cool to share with you guys, you know, and gals, and just riding along. And I have these moments. Obviously, I've embraced live streaming. I know that the live streams are more popular than the reports and the opinion pieces and the shorts, but that's okay. I guess that's a good thing. I still haven't figured out why, but I was so used to people not wanting to have me talk because I was working on Mustangs and just, you know, put the part on the car. Now we just talk about current events because they're so crazy. They're going after Rudy. They're going after President Trump again. He's got like 3 active lawsuits on him. He might get indicted by somebody out in New York. I think he's a district attorney. I can't name. You saw that report. And they just keep trying to keep him down. And it's like, it's so funny because it's like a psychology thing. You know what I mean? It's like the Trump derangement syndrome has like taken over, and they just can't stop trying to stop him. And all it does, like I've said in the videos before, is make us go, what the heck? I mean, I recognize beginning of wisdom is recognizing that 90% or at least 95% of the stuff that's going on in DC we don't know about. We don't know. If anybody's like, I got it all dialed in, I know exactly what's going on. No, not true. Everybody is sectioned off. There's like more than like 200, 300 police forces in DC, in 10 mile square radius. Some buildings have their own police force. So I was talking to the Secret Service again, and we were talking about how it's laid out as police forces. There are police everywhere in DC. That 10 square miles is covered with people with guns, and you feel safe because they're all law enforcement officers. It's a little crazy, but you know, and the homeless. There's a lot of homeless in DC. I talk to them often, and we converse, and they're good people. They're just some people, you know. I kind of feel like 80% from my experience and my life experience, like choose that lifestyle. They get into the groove of being homeless, and they just stay homeless. But there's 20% that are suffering probably mental illness and desperately want to get out of homelessness and are depressed and sad and, you know, looking for drugs and alcohol to try to numb their pain. I'm hoping to set up an organization to be able to help the people that want to not be homeless. And it's important to say that because, again, a lot of people, like, especially in San Francisco, that's a lifestyle. I mean, thanks to Nancy Pelosi, you can defecate in the street of San Francisco and not get arrested. The police and the crowd just get to watch you take a dump in the middle of the street in San Francisco. That's how far Nancy Pelosi has gone with San Fran. Actually, I got some trivia for you guys. You know there's a large gay population in San Francisco. Do you know why? Who knows why there's a large gay population in San Francisco? And don't be snarky. Just really guess why. Well, you know what? I can't read it, so I'm just going to say it. The sun's in my face. The reason that there's a large gay population in San Francisco is because in World War II, when they found out you were gay and you were fighting in the war, they would send you back home, and they always took you to the San Francisco port. So all of the gay men that were outed, when they weren't allowed to be gay in the military, when they were outed, they were put on a ship and all went to San Francisco, and then they settled there. So it became a predominantly gay city. A little trivia for you. And it goes without saying, it's cool if you're gay, it's cool if you're straight, it's cool if you're white, it's cool if you're black, it's cool if you're whatever you are. We have freedom in this country to be who we are. My point of view as a Christian is that Jesus came to love and be the light. God is the judge, but we're to be the light on this earth. So I kind of feel like there's about 3% biblical Christians that truly recognize the love of Christ. And I always use this example. Hopefully you're part of the 3% and you're not offended. But I always use this example. He was whipped with canine tails. I'm talking about Jesus right now. On the cross, before he was on the cross. The Romans whipped him with canine tails. Canine tails are leather straps with little metal hooks that look like little claws, and they're at the end of the leather straps, and they whipped him to a point that he was unrecognizable as a man. Flesh off his bones, you could see his ribs. He was completely abused. They jammed that thorns on his head, the crown of thorns, jammed it into his skull. And he's sitting there bleeding on a cross with nails through his wrists, most likely, not his hands, because that's where they put him, because the hands bones would break off and you'd fall off the cross. So the Romans put the nail through the bones in your wrist, so you stayed on the cross. And the cross, it was designed to put fear into people that they don't want to have that happen to them, obviously. What does he do? What does Jesus do while he's on the cross? And they're spitting upon him, the Sadducees, the Pharisees and the Sadducees. Those are two different levels of high priests in the Jewish religion. They spat upon him. They wished his death. They cursed him. They called him a false prophet, or they called him every name in the book. And what does Jesus say to his Father in heaven while he's on the cross, totally parched, bleeding to death, about to die, suffocating, because that's what happens when your arms are spread out that far. It constricts your lungs. He says, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. That's the forgiveness of Jesus Christ. And that's what we're supposed to portray. Many have fallen short. I've fallen short. Lots have fallen short. So the thing is we all, here comes a bicyclist. This will be kind of cool. We all fall short of Christ, but that's not designed for us to beat ourselves up over it, right? What it's designed to do is to accept that we're sinners, accept that we're broken vessels, know that we're loved by God, and we're supposed to spread the light and be loving to all. And that is what I'm hoping is coming through on this video series that I'm striving for. Because it ain't easy at times, but the good news is I'm finding, for the most part, I'm having peace in the midst of all circumstances, which is answered prayer. And God is opening up doors, and what he's saying to me all the time, are you going to trust me? Are you going to trust me? And I'm like, yes, Lord, I'm going to trust you, but it's not easy sometimes. I say that because oh, look at this vet. I say this because you know, you guys know how transparent are safe, you know, and I did need a car. It's falling apart, and I couldn't deal with like work and he hits, and the 165,000 followers not getting, most of them are not getting the notifications that new videos come up. So they subscribed 10,000 people a day for the first 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden in one day it went down to 300 a day. So that was interesting. I've chopped out a few myself with some bad sense of humor stuff. People have dropped off. That's cool. It's all right. It's fine. If they're quick to be offended, it's not a constructive conversation anyway. I'm not out to offend. I'm going to be a unifier, and am a unifier. I want to own that, because I really do believe that no matter who you are, we all want to love someone. We all want to mean something to somebody. We all want to mean something. And we want to see our children grow up and healthy and find somebody that they love. And then we go. We're only here for a very short period of time. And eternity is a very long time. So, in my point of view, when you think about it, like I said in many videos, I just keep pounding away at this. We're all from the same two people, one man, one woman, all 7.5 billion of us. And you'll notice in the posts that I've been doing, I've been saying we are all one. We are all one. We are one people. We are the human race. We're not white people or black people or brown people or Asian people. Yeah, we come from different areas, but he loves us all. He loves a person that's struggling with homelessness. He loves gay people. He loves straight people. He loves everyone. You just have to say, yes, Lord, I choose to follow you, work in my life. And he can open up doors that you could never imagine. And trust me, I've gone through fire to get to this point in my life in 56 years. And I'm not saying that I'm anywhere myself, because we're all on a path. We're on our own path. I was saying this to somebody else. I'm in conversation with God today. I say this to somebody else. Oftentimes what Christians do is they think they know what... Oh, looks like an accident. Yeah, looks like an accident. That sucks. Some Christians think that they know what God is doing in your life. Now, they can have opinions and all that stuff. But to actually think that you know what God is doing in someone's life is like assuming that you actually are as smart as this God that has created this planet that I'm rolling this car over right now. The creator of the universe, of many other planets, and yes, I do believe there's life on other people. Be more accepting of other people's walks, because somebody, I didn't get saved till I was 29 years old. And I do have a studio set up. I'm just struggling with getting the right application so I can have one person on one side, me on the other side, or maybe 3 people, and have discussions. I've seen other people doing it, and I've got like 4 interviews I want to do with people remotely, and it will happen. I hope this week. I hope this week it will happen. But if I get a lot of stories, then you'll see a lot of stories. I got one video coming up around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so the West Coast people will be awake, and that is it's a really cool like slow down message and a water fountain that's near the Supreme Court. It was just beautiful, so I did like a slow motion shot of it and did an inspirational message about slowing down and listening, which is my mantra. And the funny thing is, most of my life, I've been a really bad listener. Yeah, good. See? Good deed. Here's a good deed. Sure, man. Pennsylvania's beautiful. I hope you guys are enjoying this little drive in the country. No, it's not DC, which I know is more interesting, but it is beautiful, the trees. This is MustangMedic. I am the People's Journalist in Washington, based out of Washington, DC, and I represent the human race. So you're a part of who I'm representing, because we're all human, one would hope. Somebody said something really funny on a post I did last night. I laughed so hard. I said, representing the human race, and then somebody said, well, you probably offended the clones. I thought that was so funny. I think you offended the clones by saying represented the human race. Isn't that funny? I thought that was funny. Some of this stuff really tickles my funny, but I kind of count the good laughs that I have. Like if somebody just makes me bust out laughing, I'm like, here's my first good laugh of the day. Most laughs, I count them off during the day. I don't know why. Fortunately, I get on average, I get 5 to 6 really good laughs a day. So that's a good thing. After being depressed for 3 years and wanting to die, getting a good laugh even once a day is a good thing. Changes your perspective on things when you're like suicidally depressed for 3 straight years, and going through the desert experience makes you appreciate being out of it. That's part of the struggle that I think that we're about to go into with Kamala Harris as president. I know all of you are wincing and don't believe it's going to happen. At the moment, I have no evidence on the contrary that it's going to be different. I know we're all hoping and praying that President Trump could take over, but right now, there's no evidence that he's going to do that. There's lots of reports and theories and people making videos to get views about it, but I cannot find any evidence to that fact. I'm trying to get a meeting with President Trump in Florida in June. I'm working on that. You guys are going to laugh at me. I sent a letter to President Biden. I know that gets on your nerves. Joe Biden, clone Biden, President Biden. The reason I'd say President Biden always, even though it makes me wince too, because we all know what happened in the election, is that I couldn't stand it when President Trump was in his 4 years. Everybody's like, he's not my president. And I used to think that was so ludicrous to not recognize President Trump that was elected. So I'm trying to not be a hypocrite. So the fact that Joe Biden has the title of president right now, I call him President Biden. But I also call President Trump President Trump. And as you guys know, he's one of the best presidents we've ever had, next to George Washington and Abraham Lincoln, which of course makes liberals wince, but the truth hurts sometimes. It really does. And we can have a conversation on that later when I'm not looking at the road. But I think President Trump is just chilling. I think he's working with people. He's setting things up. I think that oh, tree in the house. That sucks. I think he's cutting off the media on purpose. I think the media is playing up unrest in the Middle East because they need news stories, because they don't have President Trump to hate right now. So I think he's choking them off. And my prayer is that he's going to come out with something like YouTube, as I speak to on YouTube, and it's going to be able to be monetized, and I'll be able to talk about all those 5 subjects that we all know we can't talk about on YouTube. And you know what? Straight up, YouTube's got every right to do this. Yeah, like it's against free speech what they're doing and all that. But again, we all clicked on that, you know, accept with that long legal agreement that we panned through when we got our Gmail accounts. You know, I've had my YouTube account for almost 10 years now, and I was making very little money with 14,000 subscribers, and it wasn't going to support me. Right now, even with the subscribers I have now, it's not necessarily supporting the bills, but I'm trusting in God. And also, you know, to Kathleen, who's been very generous. There's certain people out there that have just chosen to help out, and from $5 to $300, $500. I'm grateful for every little bit of support that you guys give me. So it gets me excited that I can stay here in DC. I already made the plans of moving into a place. I might leave in 10 months. You know, I got like a 10-month lease right now. But judging on what the values are of the place. But straight up, like I've told you before, I really believe I'm supposed to be near the White House. I mean, I've always said near the Capitol building, but the White House, I'm feeling more and more that I'm supposed to be closer to the White House. But, you know, I'm here for another 8 months near the Capitol building. And as you can see, it's working out, because if I get a phone call, something's going on. You guys have seen it. Like, you know, when there was a cluster of service on the roof of the White House. Well, Reuters has the cam. I believe it's Reuters is the one with the cam. And I also can point out the building where the press hangs out, because I got some intel from a Secret Service agent. Can't say their names. But I'll show that to you when I'm back at the White House, probably on Monday, where the press hangs out and looks down onto the White House like 24/7. And then I've got people that watch MustangMedic and watch the cam religiously. So they're kind of like my cam watchers, and they text me. You guys can text me at everybody knows this number. I set it to on a live stream to a Capitol police officer when I was videoing that operation. It's 856-332-9044. You can text me there. The voicemail tends to fill up a lot. I go through voicemail like every 48 hours. So, and I can't respond to everything, just simply because of how busy it is.
My apologies.
With activity. But know that I appreciate any communication you do. And usually if you send me a video link, I'll watch like 10 or 15 seconds of it. It's very rare I watch the whole video, just because of time. And again, please, I've had some people in my past take offense to me, like not responding to them in a week, and they got really upset with me, and I never even saw the messages. So forgive me. I don't always see all the messages, so please don't feel like I'm ignoring you. I'm glad I got to say that today. I wanted to say that. I was thinking about that. I'm visiting friends again. They decided to sponsor me for paintball. So thank you to Mike out there, who wanted my company and was willing to cover my expenses on playing paintball with those guys. So should be fun. Get to get a half day in, and I kind of needed to just do a drive and get out of town for a bit. And I'm glad to share this ride with you. I'm looking at doing a special report on the the camps, the concentration camps that they have in China. I don't know if they're calling them concentration camps. I don't think they want to, because they don't want, the world community doesn't want to admit that they're ignoring what China's doing to their people and what they're doing to Muslims. I mean, they are messing up. If you're a Muslim in China, and hey, I'm a Christian, you know, you got every right to be a Muslim, you know, it's your belief system. But China is trying to reprogram these people, and God knows what's happening in there. We don't have any, to the best of my knowledge, we don't have any spies in one of those camps. That would be powerful. There you go, Project Veritas. Go to China and see if you can get put into one of those camps. That'd be a great video. I'm being snarky. And congratulations to Project Veritas for getting recognized by President Trump. That was very cool. I was really happy for him. Can't remember his name right now. I'm blanking on his name, Project Veritas. The truth will come out. It always does. And it's an exciting time. I've spoken to a number of Christians, especially at David's Tent, which is in the National Mall between the Capitol building and the Washington Monument. And they are excited. Christians are excited about all the crap that's going on right now. And we're even excited about with the persecution that's going to come down upon us, because with persecution and struggle comes growth. And this country needs to grow. It needs to understand. We need to unify as a people. I don't think we're as divided as we think we are, because I think the media plays it up like crazy, slice and dice us to keep us separate from each other, keep us in our house. Don't go to Thanksgiving. Don't do social events. Limit you. Then they divide brown people and black people and white people and Asian people and all kinds of people. They're just slicing and dicing us. I've spoken to a number of people that are black. They get it. I've spoken to a number of white people that are white, and they get it. So, and you'll oftentimes hear me saying this black person, this white person. I do that for context. I'm not doing it because I'm judging them by a color. I just think it's interesting. If a black person has an opinion, I share it from what their perspective was being a black person, and I'll also do it with a white person. I'm not just labeling black people, I'm labeling white people. I happen to be one of those. So this is just a shell carrying around a soul. Our DNA is all the same up until a small percentage at the end. Some people, their lineage is in a hot, sunny climate and needed a darker skin to survive, not be cooked all the time. And then some people's lineage, like mine, was brought up in a box somewhere in Europe, and we didn't have a lot of sun, therefore we have paler skin. That's it. That's it. And what I found out too, talking to Marines, is the Marine Corps and Army, Navy, when they're in the services, the racism really is not there. Very, very little. There's racism, don't get me wrong, there's racism everywhere. But when I say racism everywhere, we are not systemically racist. What I'm saying is there's people that are racist sprinkled all around. I reject that this is a systemically racist country. And I reject the Lincoln Project of what they're teaching our kids that's now coming back in again in a number of states. I don't know the federal government or it's just state run, but they're teaching that if you're white, you're racist. And they're teaching if you don't know that you're racist and you're white, it's because you just don't know, but you are racist. So it's so beyond disgusting what they're teaching our children. And honestly, it reminds me of the Hitler Youth. It really does. The Hitler Youth were brainwashed, so by the time they turned 18, they were all out ready to die and take an order to death because of the way they were taught to follow the Third Reich. So the liberals are doing it again. They are brainwashing. They are, many of them, and when I say liberals, some people are liberal, a different definition of liberal. So, you know, again, I never put everybody in a group. That sounded like I did, so I'm correcting that. Some liberals, a number of liberals, are trying to brainwash our children. The teachers are brainwashing our children. You've seen the videos. And it's designed, ultimately, to create socialism in our country. That's why they're separating us. Because they do not want us united. And you know that thing I'm going to say. And it's also in the video that's coming up at 1 o'clock. United we stand, divided we fall. And right now, I believe we're more united than divided, but you wouldn't believe that because of the mainstream media. The mainstream media, CNN, CNN showing young black men constantly punching Asian people in the face or knocking them down and killing them and that kind of thing. And then they keep showing the videos over and over again. They're not showing white people. They're always showing black people. And it doesn't mean because more black people are hating on people that happen to be Asian or they're hating because they're Asian. They're doing it to create optics so that white people that don't talk to black people, I'm an evangelical, so I'm used to being a minority, but the white people that don't talk to black people, or they're predominantly in a white community and don't have any friends that are black, they see those visuals on CNN and then they fear the black person. So a person just happens to be black walking down the street and they're in fear because of the optics of watching a young black man punch an Asian person, and they play it over and over again and say how terrible it is, racism, and they're creating it. They're creating the optics to divide us. I don't know about you. But I can barely watch a movie now. Everything seems so fake. I mean, I joke around, call them spider sense. It's like Spider-Man, but I'm seeing through the fakeness of the media. I think there's a lot of bad actors. I never used to think there were bad actors, and I worked in Hollywood for like 20 years, 25 years. I was in LA doing movie posters, and now the acting's bad. Chris Matthews bad. CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. They're all basically making millions of dollars, and they're being told what to say for the money, and they're doing it. The agenda's there. Fox lost me, unfortunately. I still like Tucker. Tucker's pretty cutting edge. Hannity tends to be a little soft, in my opinion. I'm sure if I ever meet him, he'll, maybe he'll hear me saying that, and that'll be an awkward conversation. But Fox News lost me when they called Arizona with 18% of the vote in, trying to get the people that were in line that were going to vote for Donald Trump to go home and give up. That was so obvious that it made me angry, and I'm sure it made you angry too. I was in California at the time, driving that 65 Mustang, which some of you saw, across country, and I was working on it in the high desert near 29 Palms, and it was 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock when they called it. I have allergies, by the way. It was 11 o'clock when they called it, so it was 3 o'clock on the East Coast. So a lot of people didn't see it until the next morning. But President Trump, man, was cruising. At around 10 o'clock, we're like, holy crap, he's done it again. And then all those 4 states went out. And then they came back, and you guys all saw the bump. And that's all I can say about that. That's just a fact, YouTube. You don't need to take me down for that comment. That's all factual stuff I said. Nothing, no, I'm not like saying it. I'm just saying what the facts are on the ground. And that's been reported by mainstream media. Well, not really. Actually, mainstream media is not reporting the bump. But the bump was there. They shut them down. And there's video. And there's 1,000 sworn affidavits. Okay, that's all I'm saying. I drive more mellow, I realize, when I'm talking. Probably a good thing. You guys are already probably playing paintball. I'm late. It was a long drive. It's like a 3-hour drive. So obviously you can tell I needed a road trip. All right, I guess I'll. If you guys want me to continue, give me 3 thumbs up. if you're getting bored, just give me a sign, 3 thumbs down, and I'll end the live stream. Really? I appreciate that. Really? I'm getting a lot of love on the live streams, guys. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right. We'll go 10 more minutes. It's 10 o'clock. We'll go to 10:15 and then we'll call it quits. But know that you're loved, know that you're appreciated, and I thank God every day that I'm able to do this for you. And of course, I get excited when I find out certain things. There's certain opportunities opening up that I can't talk about yet because it's in talks. So there's a lot of good things happening right now. And if I spoke about some of them right now publicly, it could affect the situation, so I can't do that. So I'm a teaser sometimes. I didn't tease intentionally. I'm trying to give as much information as I can, and there are times where I say I can't say something. Clickbait, tease, whatever you want to call me. I'm honest. When I can't say it, I can't say it. And I'm always going to tell you if there's an indicator of something going on, and I'll tell you what I can tell you. I will give you the information that I have. But the great news is, after 3 months of doing this, right, January 7th, I guess, officially I started January 7th. Although I like to tell people in DC, I came to DC and moved in on January 6th. That always freaks them out. And I always say to them, I deplore violence. First I say, my position was between the and I deplore all violence in Portland as well as the Capitol, which makes them freak out because they don't want to recognize the violence in Portland, so it's kind of funny. I get a kick out of it. One person, DC resident, said, well, maybe you don't belong here. And I guess I just got a little triggered, and I just said to him, well, maybe you don't belong here. And he pedaled away. He didn't want to talk to me. I am meeting a lot of people that are loving people and good people in DC. Don't stereotype all DC people. There are good people. The remnant is in DC, and God will protect his remnant. And there's a lot of good God-fearing military, government people, police, many different agencies. A lot of Christians are in those roles, I'm finding out, which is really cool. I think that when you're serving a higher purpose, whatever that purpose is, mine is. Welcome back, guys. The phone got too hot on the dash, so it cut me off. So any of you that are still hanging in there, to the 43 of you, I appreciate your due diligence of assuming I stayed on. You guys are the hardcore ones, the ones that actually stay when the phone goes out. You're like, okay, he's going to come back. The rest of them are like, he's out. Phone died. I'm okay with them too. Don't get me wrong. So I guess I should close this out. It's kind of a sign. I'm closing it out a little bit early. But I hope you guys have a great day. God bless you. Again, know that you're loved and that I appreciate your interest in what I'm doing. What we're doing, I don't want to say I'm doing, but we're doing as a team to find the truth, because it really is a team. I've got so many people that are giving me information and contacting me, texting me. Telegram's a big deal. So Telegram, if you're not on Telegram, as I hang up, go to Telegram, download it, set up your account, follow the MustangMedic channel. We got like 53,000 people right now. We went up like 6,000 in the past 2 days. It's how you get notified of it's how you get guaranteed to be notified of the videos, because the shadow banning, they roll it around, so some people get notifications sometimes and sometimes they don't. So they seem to be keeping us at 165, and I'm not sure why. They stopped us, with 10,000 a day, and then all of a sudden it went down to 300 in 1 day. So they stopped the growth there. So they want Mustang Medic around this size. I don't know why. but it's the powers that be that are the digital people over there. But we're digital warriors over at Telegram. And if, lo and behold, I do one of those edgy videos again and they take me down, you'll see it on, you'll see where I'm posting on what format on Telegram. And it's very important because they hurt me with that strike and take me down a week. We were doing 2,500 to 3,000 people on live stream every time. And after they gave me the strike, which is still on the account, it went down to like 300, 400, 500, 600 is a good day now. And it's not coming back. And the content hasn't changed. So the only thing I can discern is that they're doing it intentionally to keep us the size we are. So please like, share, comment, and let's spread the word. We're going to find the truth. United we stand, divided we fall.